of Facia, where we talk about deepfakes, the battle of deception and detection. I'm your host, Ali, or am I? We'll find that out in this webinar. With me is.
Technically, I'm also Ali, just smoother, cooler, and running on an AI instead of caffeine.
Yeah, whatever. All right, let's not confuse our audience already. This is a live human talking, wrinkles, blinking, and all. Right. Like.
And I'm your almost human co-host, trained on hundreds of hours of videos and voice samples to look and sound just like him. Scary, accurate, huh?
Scary is right, but today's session isn't just a tech magic show. It's a deep dive into how these tools can be used for good and how to detect when they're used for bad.
Exactly. From fake news to fraud, deepfakes can be dangerous. But with the right detection tools, organizations can stay ahead.
You might be wondering, how can I tell the difference? Well, we'll cover that, but first, let's talk about how easy it was to make this guy.
Minimal data, off-the-shelf tools, a bit of video, and boom, here I am. Real enough to fool most people in a Zoom meeting.
And that's where the danger lies. If I can be faked, so can CEOs, politicians, even your own family members. That's why detection matters. The real concern isn't just how realistic deepfakes look, it's that they can make anyone say anything, no matter how inaccurate or harmful. Let's demonstrate. Ali, give me a statement. Say something. Come on. Go for it.
I, Ali, believe that pineapples belong on pizza.
That's not something I would ever say.
That was mild. How about this? I, Ali, I'm quitting my job to become a full-time singer.
Yeah, now that's concerning.
And yet, this technology is being used for far more serious deception. Imagine a world leader appearing to declare war, a CEO making a statement that crashes a company's stock, or a journalist spreading false information. The consequences go far beyond simple jokes.
And deepfakes don't even require prior video footage. AI can generate a realistic version of someone using just a few images and audio sample. That raises a critical question. Do we have ownership over our own face and voice? Legally, there's no clear answer. None.
It's surprising. Platforms enforce strict copyright rules on music, yet there's little regulation when it comes to replicating someone's likeness.
And it's not just affecting those who are alive. Deepfakes are now being used to recreate people who have passed away for films, advertisements, and even personal messages. Which brings up an ethical dilemma. Is this a tribute or is it unauthorized use of someone's identity? It is. Don't you?
If I were deepfaked into a Fast and Furious movie, I might not mind.
Yeah, right. Fortunately, detection tools are improving. AI is now being used to counter AI, creating an ongoing battle between deception and detection. Yeah.
Luckily, we've brought in someone who knows exactly how to spot people like me and how to protect your organization from the deepfake risks.
Yeah, okay. Let's welcome our special guest, Danial Asastuktai, a leading voice in deepfake detection and co-founder of Facia. Thank you for joining us, Danial. And
It's been fun being fake, but I leave the real talk to the real people now.
Yeah.
See you in the metaverse.
Yeah, okay, whatever. All right, you can go now. Danial.
Really?
Yeah, that was Ali and never mind. Do you know what that was?
No, what was that?
That wasn't my twin brother. Trust me when I say this.
Okay, was that a deepfake though?
Maybe it was.
Right,
It was a deepfake. We were having a conversation with a deepfake, and it's very rare that you go live in a webinar with a deepfake. But that actually
And
did
tell me,
happen.
how easy was it to just create a deepfake?
It was. You needed the right tools. We had that. They were available. We simply Googled them, and it took 3 hours maybe.
That's it.
I mean, it took us 3 hours because we did it for the first time. But if you were to ask me to do it again tomorrow, it'll take me an hour. and it'll be way much better, more finesse. The execution will be much better. Daniel, this was scary. This was literally scary. I was talking to myself. I was getting answers. This doesn't make sense. Facia, deepfake. You have the floor. Tell us more. Deepfakes they're all over the place.
That's correct. I mean, you just demonstrated one of the use cases of deepfakes, doesn't it? I mean, to be honest, you're one of our resources at Facia. You're sort of a normal person, you're not a celebrity, and you had a deepfake, right? Now imagine how easy it is to create a deepfake of someone whose images are out there in the internet. And it took you 3 hours for the first time because you were doing it for the first time. Imagine someone who's an expert in this, he can just do it in seconds. That's pretty dangerous. And imagine if it falls into wrong hands. What could have happened?
I'm sure it does.
Imagine if someone was using your deepfake to call your family.
That would be. I don't think that time's far off. This is so scary because family is one thing. Imagine the financial risk there is. Because, see, we're into Facia, we've come across deepfakes. I was having a conversation the other day. There was this other webinar of Facia we did where we talked about, I think it was Philippines or Indonesia, there was a $1.6 million fraud that took place. How can we stop deepfakes? What's the right way about it? Give us more information, give us more insights. Where are we with detecting deepfakes?
Firstly, use Facia to detect deepfake first.
I agree. Use Facia, simple.
Yeah. And secondly, deepfakes are generated from a single source of image. If your faces are out there in the internet, in the public eye, someone can easily have access to your, face. They can create your deepfakes. If you have a limited, private sort of media presence where no stranger could access your face, then I think it's pretty, difficult to create your deepfakes. If someone has access, they can do whatever they want to do with your face.
With all of this happening, what laws and regulations have been put into place to target deepfakes and ensure that different industries and organizations they can meet different compliances, different regulations, ensure that the customer journey is smooth and there's no fraudulent activity taking place? If you could just give.
That's a good question. From what I've seen is that the first deepfakes were used in the explicit videos of celebrities, right? And that's how the laws were enacted around the world. They were used to safeguard or stop these deepfake explicit videos or AI-generated explicit videos of celebrities or anyone else. So there are laws around the world. Now we've been seeing countries like US, UK, EU. There's Online Safety Act. There's Artificial Intelligence Act in the EU. There are Californian laws in the state of California in the US that could help could eventually result in a fine up to $100,000 if someone uses your face in an explicit sort of a deepfake video. So I mean there are laws, but still you can see that more than 50 to 60% of the population lives in the Asian continent, right? I mean more than 50%. I don't know the exact number.
I was actually going to go there because the laws you mentioned. You talked about EU, you talked about the States. Where in the subcontinent? We're in the Asian region. This is the next tech. This is the tech hub. It's been the tech hub for decades now. The complete force. We're programmed in a way that all the developers, all the IT geeks, all the IT gurus are from this area. Yet we're the most vulnerable. Why?
See, the thing is that the IT gurus are here, but there's, the main clients are there in the US and the Western world, right? And from what I've seen is that the countries that have taken lead in the AI race, name it US, UK, Canada, Japan, they understand the implications, the dangers of deepfakes. So they know if this gets out of control, if this goes into the wrong hands, this could be pretty dangerous. So in order to, they're making an effort, they're, drafting more laws, they're getting serious of how to regulate these, deepfakes into getting into wrong hands or, just protecting people, really. So what we, as normal human beings could do is, ensure that our faces, firstly, don't fall into the wrong hands. And how we can ensure that is, not have, a public social media profile. Because, see, you'll often find, many deepfakes of celebrities around the world. That's because their faces are out there in the internet, right? It's easy to get access to their faces. It's easy to get, their images, different angles, and it's easy to, clone their voices as well. So you just need an image, you just need their videos, you just need the data, and you can get the deepfakes.
So, are you advising that we live in an era of affiliate marketing, influencer marketing? By your talks, you don't want, like, people live on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all of these social mediums. By your talks, I mean, should we stop using them?
That's an interesting question. And again, to each their own. If you use your own avatars, deepfakes for, posting videos, or if you're an influencer, a micro blogger, whatever, if you're using it, I mean, that's fine then, right? But if someone else is using it, so again, so for example, there are people who've been dead for the past, many decades, but they were celebrities, right? Now you can see their deepfakes being created.
That's actually true. That's even more scarier. I mean, you're having these award shows where they're actually, remembering all of these legends, and they've got these videos and they're giving out these shout outs. I mean, the person's been dead for the past 40 years. I do not want his shout out. It's just scary. If he comes up on the screen, go like, Ali, you've done a brilliant job, I'll be like, that wasn't supposed to happen, but that is happening. So, with all of this happening, is there a good side to deepfakes?
Again, the good side is it does help you automate a lot of things. Like, right, if you're, you can't really shoot hundreds of videos in a month. You're, an influencer. Your avatar, you just need to scrape your avatar would speak that out for you. I mean, that's good cases. But the only part is if it falls under the wrong hands, what happens then? And how can you ensure that it doesn't, get into the wrong hands? So what at Facia, what we do is we really just tell you that, this is a real and this is a fake, a liveness, whether, we imagine facial recognition. That's the entire thing that we're trying to do is, just tell the world, just tell the different companies that the user, the client, whatever they're trying to, have verified, is they whether they're real or they're not. That's it. That's just to keep it simple. Whether it be liveness, whether it be deepfake detection, whatever. We're just trying to tell people if the image is a person of image of a real person or it's a fake person.
Well, I think Facia is headed in the right direction, and under mentorship of people like you and others, I think we might just be able to cater the Asian market in a better way. I personally believe we need to get a hold of a few regulators on board who can actually push different regulations and laws within these markets, because these markets are extremely vulnerable at the moment. And, we have a webinar like this, we need to have more noise. Yeah, so
Yes.
so that the masses can actually know how they can actually protect themselves from the latest AI related issues and concerns and everything else. I mean, just thinking about deepfakes, what comes to my mind is, well, maybe I've watched a lot of movies. I've watched Terminator. I've watched Resident Evil. If all of that is going to happen, I think I'm probably going to
So,
start.
interesting fact, you mentioned these movies, they were called science fiction, right? So these aren't fiction anymore, right?
That's
You just demonstrated one of the things to us.
that's actually true. It's not fiction anymore. It has turned
Yep.
into a reality.
Yep.
Daniel, thank you so much for your time. It was lovely talking to you. We'll be staying in touch. If all of our viewers you want to connect with us, simply go to our website. If not, just simply go to ali.abid@facia.ai. Send me an email, and I'll hook you up with my team, and we'll assist you with all of your deepfake detection needs and queries. Thank you. We'll be hosting another webinar soon, and hopefully my deepfake or your deepfake won't be there, or maybe it'll only be our deepfakes having a conversation. That would be fun.
And that would be
All right, Daniel, take care.
All right.
All right, bye bye.
Thank you so much, Alex.
All right.
Take care.